Of their deeds of desperate valour they're done, by the chieftains of the noble houses and their warriors, and not least by Tyr, is much told in the Fall of Gondolin, of the death of Rog without the walls, and the battle of Ecphelion of the Fountain, with Gothmog, lord of Barogs, in the square of the king, where each slew the other, and of the defence of the tower of Turgon by the men of his household, until the tower was overthrown, and mighty was its fall, and the fall of Turgon in its ruin. Welcome to Tales of Ada, where we discuss and explore Middle-earth. Today we are recalling the Fall of Gondolin, as it happened in the earlier writings of Tolkien, specifically the Book of Lost Tales, Part 2. We start with the coming of Tyr to Gondolin. Tyr was led to Gondolin by Voronwhr. As he came in the city, he proclaimed himself a messenger of Ulmo, and so Voronwhr entered the hidden city and came to the court of King Turgon. Then Tyr spoke out his message. He told Turgon to depart from Gondolin and seek the havens at the mouth of Sirion, and then call upon the Valar to aid them. But Turgon heeded his words not, as he was proud of his city, and still believed in its defences and secrecy. Turgon also spoke that the Valar would not aid the Eldar, as he had already sent sailors to Aman, but all but one had perished. And so Gondolin was not abandoned, and Tyr stayed among the firstborn of Ilúvatar and learnt many things concerning law and the culture of the Eldar. Tyr would have an axe made for him. It would be named Drambaleg. After some time in Gondolin, Tyr would fall in love with Idril, Turgon's daughter, and they would eventually wed. Later, Earendil, son of Tyr and Idril, was born in 503 of the First Age. All this would spark great jealousy in Macleod, the king's nephew, as he wished Idril for himself, and through her to gain the throne of Gondolin. But at this time of relative peace in Gondolin, Morgoth consistently sent spies to search for Gondolin, the last great realm of the Noldor. Of all his enemies he most despised Turgon, as he had escaped from the Nirnaethonodiad, and his city had been a refuge for many fleeing from Morgoth. The spies of the Dark Lord could not find the exact location of Gondolin, though tidings came to Turgon that the enemy was searching in the nearby mountains. And so Turgon prepared for what was to come. In this time Idril sensed betrayal and destruction, and so in secret overlooked the construction of a tunnel leading out of her house to the surrounding mountains, in hope that this could be a possible escape route if Morgoth attacked and the main gate was taken. But Macleod, the son of Adafel, Turgon's sister, would often wander far from Gondolin in search of metals and precious stones. On one of these trips, Macleod was captured by orcs spying on the nearby area. He was taken before Morgoth's throne, and there he told of Gondolin's location to Morgoth in exchange for his life. Macleod told many secrets of Gondolin to Morgoth. He advised him to build great war machines and to prepare stealthily. Morgoth also promised Idril's hand to Macleod if Tyr and earendil were slain. And so, to not arouse suspicion, Morgoth sent Macleod back to Gondolin, and from there he would coordinate the attack. Now Macleod was more merry and uplifted, as he knew the days of Gondolin's glory were numbered. This new mood of Macleod troubled Tyr and Idril more. Later, Morgoth would remove his spies from the surroundings of Gondolin. Turgon saw this as a cowardly move by Morgoth. Turgon then lowered the defences of Gondolin. Many years passed, and when Earendil was 7, Morgoth decided to once and for all crush his enemies. It was at this time when the Noldor was celebrating the Antii Autio, the Gates of Summer. As the Gondolindrium waited for the sunrise, a red glow appeared out of the north, and riders came quickly across the plain, bringing tidings of Morgoth's army. The 12 houses of the Gondolindrium prepared for the attack. High King Turgon and the House of the King, Tur and the House of the Wing, Maeglin and the House of the Mole, Dwilion and the House of the Swallow, Egalmoth and the House of the Heavenly Arch, Penlod and the 2 houses of the Pillar and the Tower of Snow, Galdor and the House of the Tree, Glorfindel and the House of the Golden Flower, Ecphelion and the House of the Fountain, Salgant and the House of the Harp, and Rog and the Hammer of Wrath. Turgon called a council of war, in which Tur at once pleaded for the women and children to flee out of harm's way. This was overruled by Maeglin and Salgant, for they convinced Turgon that Gondolin would not fall, and so the Gondolindrium prepared for battle. And so, here we end today's video. We have chosen to record the story of the Fall of Gondolin as it appears in the Book of Lost Tales, Part 1, as there is more detail, and they include the 12 houses of Gondolin. We hope you enjoyed this first part of the Fall of Gondolin, and don't forget to like and subscribe.